Let's get into Trey Sermon out of Ohio State. 6 foot, 213 pounds. Of course, Trey Sermon started his career at Oklahoma with Baker Mayfield, my love of my life.
Yep.
And he was actually 2017 Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year. In the following year, as a sophomore, another big year, 1,128 scrimmage yards, 13 touchdowns. But then after that, he lost his job to Kennedy Brooks and Ramondre Stevenson. So he was on the outside looking in. So he transferred, went to Ohio State. Comes to Ohio State. A lot of big news here. As an Ohio State fan, I was real excited for him to come here to Ohio State. I was like, look, we're getting a guy who looked really good early in Oklahoma. Going to come here, bring the same thing. And comes to Ohio State, and he was just completely like lackluster.
He started slow, for sure. I think
Really
that's how
slow.
you
Well, and part of that was he came in injured. Like, he ended his season at Oklahoma the year before injured, and it was, Jared, what was it? It was I'm blanking as to what it was. It was a lower body injury, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I don't think they ever actually disclosed what.
That's right.
It was knee surgery, though. He needed knee surgery.
So that could maybe explain some of the slow start.
Yeah,
Which is fair.
plus
COVID,
new team,
Plus
COVID.
transferring,
new team,
Which,
all
and
that
that's
stuff.
fair
Yep.
because this is a guy who in 4 games only had 4 games in college with 20 plus carries. So he wasn't used a lot here. What I like, let's talk about a couple things that I like about Trey Sermon.
Sure.
Because I came away very just about him, to be fair.
That's kind of where I'm at too.
But I mean, what I like about him is his contact balance, right?
Definitely
Really
one of his,
nice.
Yeah, one of his better things.
I liked how later in the season when Ohio State needed him most, when Master T kind of just flamed out a little bit, he stepped up and he looked really good until getting hurt into the second playoff game. He set the Ohio State rushing record in a playoff game, for Christ's sake. So he's got the size. He looks, when you look at Trey Sermon, you're like, that is a talented NFL running back. He's got everything you want there. But then we're starting some of the good stuff. He's got a nice stiff arm. That's kind of nice as well.
He's got a nice stiff arm. I think he's got some loose hips. I think he can move laterally.
And he can move laterally well, and he can accelerate while doing it.
Yeah.
Which is nice. I like that as well. He's somebody, like you mentioned, like on the right team. Like if Trey Sermon ends up being good in the NFL, it wouldn't surprise me. Let me put it that way.
He's got a power element to his game. He's got some pieces.
But his tape overall, you're like, okay, he was really good as a freshman and sophomore.
Yeah.
Came back in 2020, and he looked good in the second half of 2020. Like I said, the run after the catch was really nice there. But then again, like he's another upright runner.
Mm-hmm.
We've been talking about that lately. Really inconsistent. Somebody who just I don't know, man. Like sometimes when you watch him run, it's like, do you care? You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? Like,
care.
like,
I think he
like,
cares.
like, I didn't see a lot of heart or dog into him. I guess,
Sure.
does that make sense? Like when I watched him run, like, dude, like where, like, are you a dog or you're like a running back? You expect to be like a dog, right? Like, give it to me. Like, but now you said, okay, you did transfer, the knee surgery, maybe some of
There's
that was
definitely
in
a
there
lot
too.
of potential excuses.
Yeah. But it's just, I don't know, man. Like, I didn't see anything, I didn't see any of these big time, like plays that go, wow, right? Like, he has the lateral agility, but like, where's he creating on his own? I didn't see it.
No, there's not much
I
there.
remember on our Film Nerds episode, we were calling him like Jekyll and Hyde. Like sometimes you'd see this really good running back, like making people miss, breaking tackles. Like who is this guy?
Great pad
Other
level, all
times
that
getting
stuff.
taken down by one guy, and you're
Right.
like, why didn't you break that tackle?
Does he just have really bad vision, you think? Is that it? Like, is he like Isaiah Crowell?
I don't think he has great vision. I didn't have it as a terrible score, but it was definitely very mediocre. He had very mediocre vision, I thought, and it's easier to tell it when you get that all 22 angle too, because it's kind of hard to see from the broadcast angle at times. But there was definitely times where he would miss stuff, or he would just not process it quite quick enough to hit the hole in time. The funny thing for me was for that Film Nerds episode Jared's talking about, I went back and I watched quite a bit of his freshman and sophomore tape because I wanted to see who was he before the knee injury, before all the drama at Oklahoma, like all of that when he was the man that everybody was talking about as this young prospect. Who was he? Yeah, he was still kind of the same guy. Like there still wasn't incredible burst. Like everything was it's good. There's a lot of it's good in his game, and there's just not a lot of dang, this guy can ball out, this guy can play. So there's a lot of for in our grading system, there's 6 is an average NFL player. And then like a 4 is an average college player. So kind of gives you a feel. And there's just a lot of like 6s. Like he's an average NFL running back, which would say you're kind of a backup at the next level if you're pretty average.
And that makes sense because I came away with very that Jekyll and Hyde's nice because you do see a couple plays like that's really nice. But
there's some splash plays, and
there should be. You're a player in a Big Ten, big time national championship caliber team, so there should be some of those plays.
Yeah, but I mean, Master Teague's on that same team with that, and there's nothing. You know what I mean?
Same madness.
Yeah,
such a good name and such a waste of a good name because that guy is just.
But his shoulder pads are big, there's that.
They are,
dude. Master, you're talking about for somebody that's watched Master Teague his entire career. What a very uneventful player. Like that guy went undrafted. It wouldn't surprise me.
And that's my point. Like he's in the same situation, and you see nothing from him.
True.
And you're seeing flashes from Trey Sermon. So I think there's something there.
He crushed Clemson.
Crushed Clemson, crushed Northwestern.
And those were big time situations. And Northwestern in particular, he wasn't getting a lot of support from his
Fields had a
starting
bad game.
quarterback there. So it was really falling mostly on his shoulders. And he picked it up, you know what I mean? So there's been flashes. He's at least somebody that I'm considering because I've seen some things, you know what I mean? I've seen some shit.
Dude, he's got the upside.
Yeah.
He's draftable. Jared, you got something over there you've been dying to say about Trey
I'm
Sermon.
not dying to say it, but it was just something Garrett and I picked up on when we were at the Senior Bowl. It was just because Trey Sermon was there, but he didn't participate because he
was his collarbone.
Yeah, broke his collarbone. It was funny watching him next to like Najee Harris and like looking at like the size of like Najee's legs compared to Trey Sermon. He's got these little like pigeon legs.
Well, to be fair, everybody's got pigeon legs next to Najee Harris. That guy's legs are tree trunks.
It's just like you see like, okay,
he's
that
got
guy's
Saquon
an NFL,
Barkley quads.
That's an NFL running back right there.
Yeah.
And like,
but
you look at this guy, I'm like,
his legs look more similar to like Michael Carter and Khalil Herbert, like guys that are 25 pounds less than him.
He's
like,
top heavy is what you're saying.
It definitely looked like the calves, especially the calves were.
He bench presses pretty well, right?
Yeah, he skips leg day. No, I don't know. I truly don't know. And sometimes optics can be misleading.
No, I mean 6 foot 213. That's not a big back.
It's fine.
I think it's an okay size back. Yeah,
but it's not like a.
No, he's not a big back.
It's not Javonte. It's not Najee.
Yeah,
it's not. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, no, that was a good observation, Jared. I do think that's worth bringing up. So
Yeah, I mean he's just somebody.
thank you, Garrett.
I think he's worth drafting for sure on upside because the upside's there.
him or Kylan Hill.
Kylan Hill.
I'm torn right there.
I'm a Kylan guy, so it'll be
I'm gonna have
Kylan
to
for
dig
me.
in. I know Kylan's definitely more explosive. You know what I mean? Like I feel like he's more explosive out of the two of them. Just
If you
Trey
get in the
Sermon
right scheme,
I don't know.
Jared, you were gonna say one. Who do you think?
I was gonna say Kylan.
Kylan. Okay.
That's who we.
Are you
have.
gonna be the Lone Ranger?
I don't know. I'm not gonna pronounce either one of them.
Maybe Switzerland.
I think Trayman Sermon falls in the same category as some of these guys.
Trayman Sermon.
Trey Sermon falls into the
It's his new
same
name.
category. Like we heard a couple guys talk about, like outside zone scheme, right? Like, kind of goes back to like whatever. Like I've been dying to like whoever the running back for the Jets is. I'm going to be a very big fan of, right?
Sure.
Like he falls in that same category. Like I don't like Trey Sermon as an in between the tackles, pound it running back. Essentially, you know what I mean,
The
like,
problem is I just don't know that Trey Sermon quite has the wheels for the outside zone.
yeah,
Like,
he's not very fast either.
so that's the hard part is you really
Yeah.
got to have that enough speed to get to the edge and get to the outside there. So, I mean, not that he couldn't have success in the zone scheme, but like probably inside zone runs would be a little more friendly, but he's just not overly strong either. So like that's the hard part is I just don't know that there's enough there. Like I don't know if there's enough raw ability. I don't know if there's enough raw mentality. I don't know. Like we have the injury history. We have like there's just a lot of like not red flags, just a lot of yellow flags.
I mean,
Slow
guys,
your roll.
is he Marlon Mack?
Everyone's Marlon Mack. Almost good, but not quite.
He's not Marlon Mack.
It could be Leonard Fournette, a good tight end.
With Najee's build, he could be a tight end.
Yeah, I mean, this is just somebody I just want to get on board with, but I just could not get it. I mean, just I'm very.
It's tough. And we're Buckeyes fans.
Right.
Yeah, it's just
And it's still just like,